So one of the things that you have the ability to do in Lizzy is to work with our 20 group report. Now, before you can actually do this, you're going to have to contact us to turn on the departmental accounting. We've got two different versions of the departmental accounting. We can turn it on just for the invoicing section, where it's only recording departmental hits when it's selling stuff. Or we can turn the full-blown departmental accounting on, which is going to start popping up and asking you how to compartmentalize all of your checking account entries and everything like that as you're putting them in. Now, once you get that turned on, if you go to the reports section and then click on Accounting General, you'll see the 20 group reports here. Now in Lizzy, when you're setting up your parts and units, you have the ability to set up categories. So I could say this is a part, this is a accessory, this is oil, this is a belt, battery, whatever it is that we want to do. And you have the same type of thing that you can set up for your whole goods, so that you actually can set them in categories that you want to use. The problem is in a lot of 20 groups, they will group certain things into a common category for the group. So you may have trikes, for example, but they may want those numbers put in with street bikes or whatever it happens to be. So there's no way for us to really know how you want to set all of this stuff up to report to your specific 20 group. Now, when you first open this particular report up, you're going to be given a little dashboard with all of the summary information for each of the departments for the previous month. So if you're in June, it's going to run for May, but you have the ability to change this to any month and year that you want to do. Now, to solve the problem with our grouping, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Group Settings here. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to edit the G20 categories, and this is just your 20 group categories, and we're going to click on that. And so what this does is it allows us down here at the bottom to create as many different 20 group categories that we want. We can name them exactly what it is, and then we can specify whether that group is specified for a unit or whether it's an item category that we're trying to set up. Now again, this is to match or mimic your 20 group requirements. It has absolutely nothing to do with Lizzy. So you can still break Lizzy's categories down in any way you want and then kind of shoehorn all of those categories into specific categories for your 20 group without very much work. Now, once we set up our 20 group categories, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on Configure Unit Types, Item Categories, and Unassigned Items. And so right now we're going to start with the unit types. And so all of the things that we set up as unit categories for our 20 group are now visible here. And so what we're going to do from here is we're going to click on each of these guys and we're going to tell it internally what categories we want to group into that particular 20 group category. So if I go to trailers, or let's see if we go to motorcycles, then we can tell it that we want street, dual purpose, dirt bike. We want all of these included. Now, if your 20 group had dirt bikes broken out from road bikes versus dirt bikes, then you would change these around to match the internal categories for Lizzy into your 20 group categories. So it's as simple as just selecting the category from the drop list, hitting the plus sign, and it adds it. If you want to delete it, hit the trash can. So you can change this to pretty much any time, any way you want to do. The item categories are the same way. When we click on that, it's going to display the 20 or the G20 categories. I'm going to pick one, and then I'm going to select the internal categories that we want to match to each one of these. So they're pretty straightforward to go through and do that. Now, one of the really cool parts of this 20 group process is the ability to actually categorize our unassigned items. So if I click on this, it brings up a list of parts that we've sold today or in the last week that don't already have a category assigned to them. So instead of having to go through and try to assign a category to everything that I think I might sell, we can actually wait until we've actually sold it and then assign the category through this G20 report. So it's, a pretty simple process and much more streamlined than having to go and just guess at which parts you're going to sell and try to assign it that way. So once we get our categories set up and once we have made sure that all of our items have a category on the report, we can go back and regenerate the report and we get these summary details. Now, if I want to drill into the sales, the new sales category, we're just going to click on new sales. That's going to open up the detail list of everything that has moved through the system in that department. And then within these categories, we can click on the totals and actually look at all of the invoices that make up these individual totals. So we can drill into the different parts of the report to get more detailed information out. So it's just a quick overview of how the 20 group reports work, and you can see from here, once we get into the report detail, I don't have to go back to the report. I can go quickly to the used or service or parts to view the different departments that we have with just a single click. All of the reports work the same way with opening up the detail, so it's pretty straightforward, and it gives you the ability to drill in and get exactly what you want for your 20 group. Now, some of the things that are going to be coming here very soon, we have the ability to export this to a lot of the 20 group reports or the reporting processes. So whether you're using GSA, Spader, Garage Composites, or someone else, you'll be able to quickly go in and export whatever detail you've got inside of Lizzy directly into their interface so that they can provide you with the necessary 20 group reports on their side.